With me today is Urvashi Sharma, homemaker, professional, and a beauty queen. Urvashi, welcome to Candid with Karl.
Thank you, sir.
Let's start in the earliest memory that you have, which is a place called Madhya Pradesh.
So I belong to the heart of India, the incredible India. I come from a very small town called Guna. I was born, brought up, my schooling and everything was done there. I did my entire schooling in Guna and then fate happened and I moved to Bhopal for engineering.
Okay.
I'll tell you this, it is very unconventional from the kind of family that I come from.
What is it? You come from a more conservative family.
I come from a very conservative, not more, it is a very super conservative joint family it was then. And I got lucky with my parents.
Right.
They trusted me and sent me out for engineering. I completed my engineering in Bhopal. I didn't knew that I would be settling down in Bhopal. I got married to that city.
Wow. Wow.
After 4 years of engineering, which was not very dramatic, I was not sure what I was getting into and what I'll get out of it. I got lucky and I got placed. I got a company placement.
Mhm.
And then in 2010, I moved to Pune.
You moved to Pune. Okay, so engineering has very rigid structures.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, were you happy with the totality of Bhopal?
I loved Bhopal as a city.
Right.
But given the fact that I was coming from a conservative family with a lot of responsibilities on my shoulder, that, okay, you are the girl child of the house, we are sending you out, I did not explore the city much. I was just from college to home, to home to college. That's about it.
So the city of lakes didn't have what it takes.
I would say I wanted to go beyond the horizon.
Excellent, excellent. So what did your horizon at that time comprise of? What did you see?
I just saw Urvashi Sharma on a position wherein people could look at and get inspired from her. And I don't know how that happened, but I had...
Which is wonderful, Urvashi, because very early on, when you know you're a leader and not a follower, that is part of your growth as an individual.
Yes.
So it's not a sin. Some people are born to follow and they make excellent second in command. And some people inherently have leadership qualities, which, when it's brought to the fore, they shine. Okay, so you moved out of Bhopal and tell us a little bit then about marriage. I know it wasn't a very straightforward deal as most people have.
So, highly unconventional, as most of the people think. Mine was an absolute arranged marriage setup.
Wow.
An absolute big fat wedding.
Uh-huh.
My husband Ankit, he's the 19th guy I personally met.
Wow. And how many people or suitors did your parents shortlist?
My parents shortlisted 150 guys. They have given good amount of time. They met 150 guys in fact.
Right.
And with Ankit, I guess I just didn't say no.
Okay, you didn't say no. So that's how this happened. So tell me, at that point, how did you know that Ankit was maybe not the right guy or the one, but how was he different from other suitors?
I could not find anything which was not suiting to me. I would not say he was the wrong guy.
Right.
I tried scaring him to core.
Right.
I literally tried everything.
Right.
And this guy was okay, we'll see to it.
Right.
We'll manage.
Okay.
Even at that point of time when our marriage was just next door, I was like, okay, I'm getting an on-site opportunity. What do I do? You say yes, I'll manage.
Wow.
I'll manage at home. And then I was like, okay, I'm not getting myself into much of a trouble. So I think I can take that leap of a faith.
So this is a lesson for all husbands. If you can stick with your wife's idiosyncrasies before marriage, you certainly can manage with them after that.
It's 10 years of our marriage. Still both of us are alive. Happy, smiling. I think that's a great achievement.
Yes. And if you're married, happy and alive, that says it all. So the outcome of your marriage was your wonderful son, right?
Yes.
Rudra? Yes. So tell us a little bit about him.
So my cutie is now 4-year-old. And I would say he's an absolute lucky charm for me. The time I conceived him, I got my first promotion in my current company.
Right.
And the promotion, as they say, in my current company is a very tedious process. Now, as he's 4-year-old, he's super energetic. He's a super happy kid. He has literally converted the entire world an upside down ride, but never a dull moment.
Wow.
He's an absolute storyteller.
Okay.
Unlike other kids unlike other boys, I would say, who are mostly into sports.
Right.
He's mostly into dance and drawing and music. He's an artist, I feel.
Because guys, when they grow, they want to make the girls dance around them. So I mean,
He's
you got
a charmer.
few girls.
He's a charmer, I would say.
So you'll have a lot of girls now who are not from any other world that you know, but who'll be running after him, hopefully.
You would be amazed to hear that in his entire circle, there are hardly any boys.
Wow. So he's starting right and he's starting young. That's fantastic. Urvashi, tell me, how did you discover this world called pageantry?
So, as I told you, I always wanted eyes on me.
The limelight.
Yes,
Yes,
the limelight.
right.
Sushmita Sen, I always admired her. I wanted to do something of that sort. And then when I was in Bangalore, back then, somewhere around 4 to 6 years ago, there was one pageant that came through. And I tried that. Not a very great experience. And then COVID happened. But
Right.
I wanted to give it a shot and have a full-fledged experience of it.
This is very interesting to hear because, having been through a pageant, uh, sometimes it puts you off. Sometimes it acts as a spur to seek something better. So, how then did you discover Diva?
It's Instagram's algorithm, I guess. When
Right.
you search onto one kind of thing, when you have those kind of interest, it tries to shows you things like that.
The best choices
The
that
best
match.
choices that
search,
match.
yes.
During Mrs. Maharashtra's audition 2024, it popped up once, twice, and thrice. And then I was like, let me just give it a shot for the audition.
Right.
And trust me on that, I literally came unprepared for the audition.
Wow.
I was absolutely unprepared for the audition, and the audition question was a very basic question. You won't believe what was the basic question, and people literally fumbled on that.
Which was what?
The question was, what do you mean by season 6, which is in the title of Mrs. Maharashtra? And people was like, what on earth happened?
I heard of spring, summer, autumn, and winter. What season is this?
Yeah. And the answer was super simple, that we are conducting it for the 6th time.
Sixth time. Yes, it's fairly obvious. Yes. Yeah.
So that's where I knew that, okay, when they say keep it simple, silly, this is absolutely what it means. Pageantry brings the best out of you, but in a very simple way.
Yes. This synonymous kiss, like you rightly said, keep it simple, silly, is true of most things in life. And especially the pageant world. But let me just digress for a moment and come back. If I recall, you told me that you played basketball, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Urvashi, one of the most fascinating things I came across was obviously Michael Jordan, who's today rated the GOAT of sport, not just basketball. But very interesting thing was when, in his formative years, when he was touted as the next big thing, he was contracted to Adidas.
Yes.
And Nike wanted to make a bid for him. But they had, I don't really recall the figure, but whatever, $250,000, which they felt should be spent on maybe 3 or 4 players. Because the logic was simple. In case they put all their eggs in one basket and that guy breaks his knee or breaks his ankle, it's gone. The money's gone. So there was this debate in Nike, and then they said, no, let's take a chance and punt on Michael Jordan. The funny thing was, Michael Jordan was married to Adidas, and he wanted a counter offer from them. What one of the Nike executives did was, he went to Michael's hometown, met with his mother, and told him, ma'am, we want your son to be part of, Nike, join Nike. And we are going to pay $250,000. So she said something extremely profound. She said, it doesn't really matter what sum you're going to pay, because Adidas will always match it or better it.
Right.
What can clinch this deal is, I want a percentage of every shoe sold. And the guy looked aghast. And she said, no, I'm not talking about every Nike shoe sold. I'm just talking about the shoes that have my son's name on them. Well, Jordans became history. And everybody wanted to own a pair of Jordans. The movie is called Air, as in Air Jordan, because he was known for his leap. But since you took a similar leap of faith,
Yes.
you entered pageantry and then you shortlisted Diva. Now tell us about your leap into Diva and what was your experience?
So as you were talking about Michael Jordan, it was a conclusion from that story was always invest in people.
Absolutely.
Always invest in people and the profit and opportunities will follow.
Correct.
I think exactly same thing happened with me.
Right.
When I joined DIVA. Of course, the 4 days of rigorous training has absolutely transformed me, has given me a different level of confidence. I was always a speaker, but the training has finished me, has polished me even more. There is one more thing that I've gained from DIVA. As they say, अगर शिद्दत से कोई चीज चाहो तो पूरी कायनात तुम्हें उसे मिलाने में लग जाती है.
The whole world conspires.
Exactly. So when I joined DIVA, I always wanted to be a coach, a mentor.
I see. Okay.
Professionally.
So I hope you're satisfied with the mentors you met in DIVA.
Of course. And universe placed me with such people who have become mentors for me for the life, for the same profession that I aim for.
Right. You know, you mentioned a lady called Manisha Anand, and I very fondly recall her as winning our Mrs. India a couple of years back. Now, what are the main lessons, being also from Bhopal, what do you attribute to her?
So, Mrs. Manisha Anand, one thing that I've learned from her is you can be different shades of yourself.
Wow.
You can be a coach.
Different shades of me, yes.
You can be a coach. You can be a beauty queen, as she is. You can be a mother. You can be a homemaker. And with the ad shoots, with the promotions she does, you can be anything, whatever you want to.
Yes.
So that is one thing which I have learned from her.
Wonderful. You know, this is a great lesson, Urvashi, for many women, because lots of times when you think about, I've come to the end, there's this beautiful line which says it's just a bend, it's not the end. So if you're able to reach out and seek beyond what you have at this point in time, quite frequently the best appears. Now, what were 2 or 3 things that you found at DIVA that maybe were better or more meaningful than your previous pageant?
So, first thing first, in DIVA, we were given choices.
Mm-hmm.
Things were not forced on us.
Right.
Never at any point in given time. And when you have choices, you become more and more confident. Basic example are introduction dresses. We were given choices that you can choose.
Right.
And I remember I was the only one who was wearing the boldest color.
I see.
Everybody for the introduction round had shimmers and I was wearing the boldest color because I was given a free choice.
Right.
Our evening gowns, in my previous pageant, we were just given 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm. As in styling? As in styles, or are you
Style
talking about colors?
or size.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, pick. Mm-hmm. Even if it fits you or doesn't fit
I
you,
see. Okay.
these are what we have. In DIVA, we were actually asked, what length do you want? What kind of sleeve are you comfortable with? So that gives you a sense of confidence, a sense of comfort.
Right.
That is one thing. Second thing, of course, there were people around you. You have around 53 ladies.
Yes.
Living together with them, not an easy task. But with all the 53 ladies, I have learned one thing or the other from each of the ladies over there. 4 days is not a huge time. It just goes in a splash. But people out there were so helping. I remember on our last day, one of the questions that we were preparing, what do you do yourself to keep yourself calm? And somebody came behind me and he was like, Urvashi, take it easy, Urvashi. And one of the ladies said, you can actually give this as an answer.
Yes.
And
Yes. And sometimes, it's quite strange because I know when I'm part of these sessions, I normally never go with pre-prepared answers.
Right.
Because sometimes as a mentor, you're looked down as, God Almighty and you have all the answers. And I tell the ladies that, look, it's the evolution of you and me in the sense that today when you give an answer and somebody attempts, maybe the coalescence of both gets you a really brilliant answer.
Right.
And if you're open to seeking from people as opposed to just book learning or rote learning like you do in school, something magic happens. Urvashi, you mentioned that you come from a small town. And obviously, one's aspirations are attributes that normally parents gift their children. What do you attribute to your parents?
You rightly said, as I come from a very, very conservative family. I am the only child, not just the girl child, I'm the only child of my family who's an engineering graduate,
Wow.
who stepped out of house to complete the education. There were a lot of apprehensions. My parents had to figure out, a lot of apprehensions has to stand out on a lot, that how are you sending your girl child outside of your home. I would attribute it to my mom, because I come from a business family.
Right.
I would attribute it to my mom, that she wanted, no,
Mhm.
my daughter will go on. My daughter will stand on her feet today. That was the day. And then it was the finale day of DIVA Pageant. I was walking on the ramp, and my mother was sitting right in front there with tears rolling down her ear. Okay, that's my girl.
Wow.
So she has always been a support system, a background support system, always.
Urvashi, as part of your framework in the IT world, is there any insight that somebody gave you that maybe you realized and took to the next level?
IT is a very handful of industry. It's a very small industry. And then someday you find some mentors who will pick you up just walking by pass,
Or
and
out of the blue?
out of the blue, and they will say, okay, you've got this one skill. So this happened with one of my mentor, who happened to be my manager that time. That was just a very casual discussion over tea. What do you want to do in life? You are here in IT. And I was like, okay, that's going good. I haven't thought anything about it. That time he told me, you're a people person. I think you've got that project
People skill.
management, people skill in you. I think you should hone it better. And that's where I got a kick. Okay, let me give it a shot. Let me start. And then again, universe conspired, and I started getting those kind of roles,
Okay.
wherein I could build in my career and I could actually establish myself.
Which is wonderful, Urvashi, because normally a mentor, the good mentors, they steer you onto the right path, and then sometimes you don't even realize it yourself.
Exactly. That's what actually happened with me.
Right, and it stays for life.
It stays for life.
Urvashi, you're a lady who wears many hats. You're a working professional, you are a dancer, you're a mother of a 4-year-old, which is a full-time job in itself. So how do you manage all of this?
So there was an interview I heard from Mrs. Indira Nui,
Mhm.
wherein she says it's always that you juggle priorities.
Right.
Of late, I've realized that I have been juggling priorities, but when you treat these priorities as just work,
Right.
it becomes headache. Nowadays, what I've done is I've started involving my husband and my son into my fitness routine, into my dance routine. Of late, I'm also trying my hands into theatre, wherein again I'm trying to get them involved.
Right.
So when you have company, when you have your family around in the activities that you do, life becomes much more easier.
And Urvashi, let me just add that I'm a major theatre person.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I loved theatre all growing up. My growing up years in Bombay, I used to make it a point to see at least one play a month, at least. And it's the truest form of artistry because there's no retake.
Right, there's
You
no retake.
perform what your performance is on that minute of that day of that act is the only one you have.
I would definitely let you know the venue and date.
For sure, Rishi, for sure.
Yeah. So that's how I manage, and that is the sense of satisfaction that I get. That okay, I could not be a full-time mother to him, but whenever I was available for him, I was fully attentive to him, and that time was fruitful.
I think when your son grows up, other than remembering that his mother fed him and his mother, took up his lessons, I think he'll always be more proud of a mother who became somebody in her own right. And I think in today's world where you have access to so much of information, and you can dial a Zepto and just get whatever you want. The realization that you need to be somebody, and it could be in any walk of life, is really what leaves that lasting impression to your child, to your spouse.
Right, right, and that's why I want my son to be remembering me like that.
Wow.
I just don't want him to remember that okay, she's just my mom, or she's just an IT person, or she's just my father's wife.
Fantastic.
No, I want him to know for a fact the life is too much bigger.
Yes.
And you
Yes.
need to explore every bit of it. You just need to try it out.
Wow! We're looking at timeless beauty at Mrs. India Empress of the Nation 2025. Congratulations, Urvashi. How does the crown sit on your head?
Well, thank you so much, sir. Absolutely. The title, when I got the title, I had goosebumps then and still again.
That's timeless. Goosebumps remain timeless.
That's timeless. That's
Yes.
timeless.
But tell me, because the keenness to win is there in everybody. Now, what did you personally feel when you got a subtitle that you actually desired?
I can't express that feeling.
Right.
I absolutely don't have that feeling.
Right.
That when you receive something which is timeless beauty after you're married or you have a kid,
Right.
that is a push on your back. Okay.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
You have life and you still have to live.
Yes. And it tells other ladies also that a woman who's beautiful remains beautiful forever. And she remains. If her name is Urvashi, she remains timeless.
Exactly.
Urvashi, I know for a fact that I'm known for introductions and I handcraft a lot of them. Do you recall yours? Because I remember yours being fairly unique. So can you say a couple of lines from your introduction?
Of course. Why not? So, my introduction. Thank you for the beautifully written introduction. It grabbed me in those few lines. So it goes like, code by day, rhythm by night. I'm a software professional here to take a flight. With 15 years of project management experience, this is Urvashi Sharma, who has overcome every interference.
Wow.
Artistry of Kathak gives me command on stage. Live performances have made me a rage. As Michelle Obama says, there's no limit to what a woman can accomplish. Cheer for me as I head towards the finish.
And as you headed towards that goal, I heard every single person applauding. I think even I did.
I still hear that when I was walking towards the stage and I did a turn. I still remember Karl saying, wow.
And let me just add, Urvashi, he's still saying wow.
Thank you so much.
But one of the great joys is I have always used this word when doing sessions with ladies, that you must marry articulation to your attractiveness. And I think you mentioned Sushmita earlier. I often credit her with making India and Indian women speak better. Because till that time, it was a swimsuit round, it was your figure that got you the crown. Now, having tasted success at pageantry and having now, like you said earlier, come into the limelight, which was your dream, what is your next step after this?
So, during my auditions as well, I said, sir, I always wanted to give back to society.
Right.
Somehow.
Right.
Not just to women, not just to men, not being attended to one side,
Right.
but to people. A cushioning kind of thing, which I think I got a push after attending DIVA, after my training.
Wow.
That okay, I am good at that thing. So after getting into Limelight, I want to expose that side of mine. I want to
As in get into some kind of coaching stint?
you got
Wow.
the right word.
Wow.
You got me into the right word. I want to coach and mentor people.
Mm-hmm. And in any particular sphere, or you just want to be known as generalist?
I am working onto my niche.
Right.
Because I want to go into a niche, not
Right.
just general.
Again, Urvashi, I'm really proud of you because when I speak with a lot of ladies into the fashion world, they are always talking about a next step, as in now I want to become a model and whatever. And it takes certain amount of intellect. I would say also married to certain God gifts that you can enhance. Because coaching is a very tough field. The moment you say coach, the presumption is I need to learn from you. So whenever you position yourself as a coach or a mentor, it's a kind of a tricky thing. I just mentioned to you how you become kind of God-like. Like I know when these 53 ladies, like you mentioned, when I'm taking center stage, I'm expected to have all the answers.
Exactly.
And I'm human. But at that point in time, if you can't project what is within, you can never be a coach, you can never be a mentor, you can never be a leader. So coaching or mentoring is essentially projection.
Right.
and the art of understanding how best to answer questions that are posed. Yeah. Urvashi, I wish you the very, very, very best. And I remember years back, back in 2020, I wrote a book. The book is called Beginning is Everything.
Wow.
And it is specifically about the power of an introduction. How a stage introduction, as opposed to an everyday speech about yourself, can literally transform your life.
Right.
So the book is called Beginning is Everything. I'd like, as we end, to gift you an autographed copy with a very simple message that may this be the beginning of everything great in your life.
Honored. Absolutely honored.
Cheers.
Cheers.